Good evening and welcome to another episode of Bahrain Now. With me, your host, Bara Abdulla. We've got a great show coming up featuring great local talents, initiatives, and events from around the kingdom. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to enter the world of furnishing and interior designing. And with us here tonight is Wala Abdallah, who's going to answer all your questions when it comes to interior designing. So, good evening, Wala. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine. Thank you. What about you?
I am really excited to know more about the interior designing, what happens behind the scenes and all of that. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Wala, as you say. I'm 28 years old. I have a 6 years working experience in that field. And you can say that interior design is my passion.
Amazing. I mean, it's your passion and you've been doing it for 6 years.
Yes.
That's a good period. Did you always know that you wanted to be an interior designer, or did you experiment other things?
No, actually, since my childhood, I was thinking in that major. And
wow.
Yeah.
Since you were a kid, you knew exactly what you wanted to do.
Actually, I was enjoy watching TV programs and, you know, as well as the magazines that related in that field.
Okay.
I was keen to collect them and looking at them many times.
All right. Wow. Okay, that is passion. Definitely.
Yeah,
you know, when you delve into it, you get your magazines and you design your own, I would say, designs, and then you show it to your parents, show it to your friends.
Yes.
So what was your first design ever?
It was for my friend bedroom.
Okay.
And she was love it.
So pretty much as you started decorating for your family and friends, and the bedroom, the first bedroom, I'm sure it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a picture by any chance? Maybe later on we're gonna see it.
Yes, inshallah.
Amazing, amazing. So now, I think that pretty much sparked something in you. So my question is to you: when did you professionally become an interior designer? How did you start?
Once I'm done with my studies, I was working in 3 companies before. The first one, I stayed with it for 3 years, and the other one, it was just for 2 months. And the third one, it was a great opportunity for me, actually. I was the head of design department.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So once I stayed with them for two years almost. I decided to be alone. I have to make my brand. So I start for iDecor since last February 2021.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I hope that this name will achieve success with the other competitors, inshallah.
Amazing, amazing. So after the third company, you decided that's it, you're going to be your own boss.
Yes, sure.
So iDecor.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the name iDecor.
iDecor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name?
The name is the shortcut of I interior designer, which is ID, and the decor is the decoration.
This name is too smart.
Yeah.
I love the name. It's like ID, interior design, then decor.
Yes, decor, yeah.
Okay, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
Thank you.
So now, pretty much, what kind of service do you give in iDecor?
I make a consultation for interior design. Also, I make a designing for interior and landscaping as well.
Oh, wow.
And I make furnishing. I'm using the clients to find the beautiful furniture and all of these things. And the last service I do the supervision on the sites.
Okay.
From the black to the finishing, and yeah, I do everything with them.
Amazing. Maybe one day, you never know, you're gonna design our new studio.
Inshallah.
Right. You come
I really wish that.
You're gonna design our
I'll
new
be
studio
so proud of
for
that.
Bahrain Now, and give us like a new touch to it and all of this.
Why not? Why not?
Amazing.
I really wish that.
So what is, I would say now, for a weather like Bahrain,
Yeah.
what do you think will be the best textile, the best material to use?
Actually, here in Bahrain, you know, the weather is very hot and humid, so we go for the treated or other alternative materials which is suit that weather. Yani, for example, we cannot use the wood, the natural wood, or any type of natural stones.
Right.
Yeah, because you know,
Pretty much the weather would just, with the humidity and all of that, pretty much will affect the material.
It affect, and it needs a maintenance for every year.
Every year.
Yeah.
If I buy something, I'm never going to maintain it. It's like it has to be there forever. So me maintaining wood every year, it's going to be a lot actually to consider.
That's why we cannot use it here in Bahrain. Yani we advise the clients to go for any other alternative materials.
Okay, what would be the best substitute for wood in that case? Because a lot of people like the look of wood. The look of wood just brings you...
We are going to use the, the aluminium sheets or the fiber.
Okay.
And the tiles. If we can use it for the exterior, we go for it.
Amazing.
As an option,
Is there a project you would like to do, like you never had the chance to do as an interior designer?
Actually, I did some commercial projects and a lot of villas.
Right.
But the things that I want to go
So maybe you want to go to, I would say, have you ever tried to do a movie set?
No.
Really?
Yeah, but I was thinking to do some of, wedding arrangements and these things. Many people, they are asking me if I'm doing it or not, but it's too hard and it needs a lot of time to do this, and it's just for one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's that day that will last forever,
Yeah, just in a picture. Nobody will see it in the actual.
Good point. Good point. Speaking of movies, random question. If you ever been called to do a movie set, a decoration for a movie set, what movie would you like to be involved in? Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Avengers?
No, I prefer the movies, the mid-century movies, the castles,
Wow. Medieval days? Like
yeah.
Big castles?
It's like Sandra, these things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you actually do that?
No, but I'll try to do it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. You never know, right? Maybe somebody will be listening to you right now. It's like, okay, we're going to give her the chance to do a Cinderella castle or the decoration of a Cinderella castle.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Why not? Yeah.
So, interestingly enough, we heard a lot here, but if you want to give one advice to your viewers right now, what would that be?
I have just one advice for the people. They are going to do the homes, which is, before you start doing anything, just go back for interior design.
Okay.
Because interior design in current time, it's not just a welfare. It's a necessity to become to avoid all of the mistakes and to live comfortably in your home.
Amazing, amazing. I still remember like one of my friends who happens to be an interior designer himself, and he's like telling me that going to a house and to just rearrange a house with the design and all that brings you new energy, calms you down, and tranquility. So it's not only just because it looks nice, but it brings you, a good vibe altogether.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
You're only not literally a consultant for that or make things look good, but you just bring good energy to the place as well, right?
Yes, right.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you so much for being with us right here on Bahrain Now. And I can't wait, maybe pretty much we're going to hire you for a new studio maybe, or maybe even my own place. You never know.
Yes, okay, why not, thank you.
It's going to be a great pleasure. Well, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Most welcome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you saw it yourself pretty much as an interior designing and consultation is a big deal. To actually call up maybe Wala and just get your home redecorated for a new perspective and new vibe. All that took place when an interview with Wala right here on Bahrain Now. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is a writer whose enchanting poetry is often written in not one but two languages, publishing his writing in both English and Arabic. Bahraini poet Hashim Alawi has managed to accumulate a wide and diverse reader base. Well, all that's going to happen right now here on Bahrain Now with Hashim. Well, good evening. How are you?
Thank you very much for inviting me here, and thank you to the audience who are going to be watching this.
Oh man, it's a
streaming.
great pleasure actually to have you here right now. So poetry, man, how did you start?
Poetry to me, we go back for 2 years. That's where the relationship started,
Oh wow.
of course. I guess at a time where I found things to be meaningless,
Okay.
I guess it's that spark.
Mm.
Once I felt like I was finding meaning in things, that's where I started writing.
Amazing. Wow. So it's pretty much your emotions and your thoughts coming together, and the best way to express your thoughts was poetry.
Of course, that's why I call it a spark, because before that there was nothing.
Oh wow, man. Oh wow. Okay, so what was that spark, if you don't mind me asking? What sparked it?
A bee.
A bee?
To be exact, it was a bee.
Okay.
So talking about my first poem, I wrote, it was called The Bee Under the Rain.
Huh. All right. So it was an actual bee under the rain, or is it like a metaphor?
It was an actual bee under the rain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
was very impressed exactly by that bee itself. That's what
Okay.
pushed me to write. That's what pushed me to write my first poem.
Okay.
So that's why I call it Bee Under the Rain. It's an expressive poem about my relationship with nature. The first time I found meaning in things.
Wow. Wow.
As I said, a bee.
That's pretty deep, man, actually. Wow, that's a really good intro to the whole thing, to the whole talk. So did you start in English or in Arabic? How did you start poetry? In which language?
In English. So
English.
I am dominant in the English language,
Okay.
to be exact. I used to write, I went to school, in university now, it's all in English.
Okay.
So I would say I lost the touch for my Arabic language, even though it's my first, it's my mother tongue. But recently I've started writing in Arabic as well, and
Okay.
translating it to English as well. So it's not always in English now.
Okay. Okay.
So I consider that like a point of progress, you could say.
Amazing. Amazing. So during your studies, what do you study?
I study international relations.
International relations. So pretty much it's a very wordy, I would say, major. You know, pretty much you have to understand how the words comes together to express the best way in statements, politically speaking.
Politically speaking, exactly.
Wow.
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy, there you go. So do you think that poetry and that comes together hand in hand, pretty much in how you would work? Did that enhance your poetry, or there are two separate things?
Oh, of course. Poetry has been part of all my diplomatic approachments.
Oh, wow.
Whether it's in events, in conferences, I've always used poetry.
Amazing.
Sending letters out to invite people to come as speakers.
Wow.
I use poetry for that.
Amazing, amazing.
So I guess, of course, they correlate somehow. I've written various pieces,
Yeah.
essays, let's say, on the relationship between art and politics.
Right.
And as we can see in history, it's something that's very obvious as well.
Okay, wow. It seems pretty much you're so in delve and you're pretty much delving the whole thing with poetry and how you want to express yourself. So if I'm going to get an answer from you, it's not going to be a straight answer. You're always going to pretty much sway me with your poetry.
It's always a cocktail.
It's always a cocktail. I love that. So now you said you started off with English first. So what kind of genre do you focus on when it comes to poetry?
If we're going to talk about genres and styles as well, I would say that due to the fact that I recently started, it's been 2 years only, I would say that I've been transitioning quite ferociously between classical poetry and freestyle or free word.
Okay.
So honestly, my poetry isn't well defined yet, I could say, but I could definitely say that it's between classical poetry and free verse.
Do you see it leaning more to the classical or to freestyle?
Recently to the classical, because especially when it comes to rhyme, I've been focusing more on poetic rules or laws, we could say, on how to write, both in English and in Arabic as well.
Oh, wow.
So that came in with the recent developments. As I said, that's how I test my progress.
Amazing, amazing. And the thing is, when it comes to poetry in English and Arabic, there are like different structures going on, right? It's like learning a totally different structure, or is it the same or similar?
It's, I mean, if we talk about rules, they're fully different.
Okay. Wow.
But of course, there are basics which are completely the same. Let's say, for example, in Arabic, al-qafiyah, we have the rhymes in English as well.
Okay.
Especially when we go back to the Renaissance period, where the English used to write poems back then, they always had to rhyme with every line. So that's what I'm doing now. I've been doing this for a while in English, just not in Arabic.
Okay. Okay. When was that point when you noticed or you felt like it's time to actually get into the Arabic poetry?
That came around last year, the end of,
Okay.
I mean, we could say the end of 2021.
Right.
So quite recent.
Did something like push you and motivate you to go into Arabic, or it's something you wanted to do a long time ago?
Yeah, I mean, I've had the motivation for it a long time ago. I just didn't know how. Didn't even have the time for it though.
Amazing.
Although poetry dominates my life, I haven't had quite the time.
All right.
Especially because of studies. But I've had multiple poets, historical poets that inspired my Arabic poetry.
Okay.
For example, Abu Tayyib al-Mutanabbi.
Right.
Or Safi al-Din al-Hilli. Especially these two. Reading their poems, they pushed me quite far into learning more about Arabic poetry.
Strong names, very strong names in the poetry land. Now, when it comes to poetry, it seems like as I've been through your Instagram account, and you have a massive followership going on there, like a lot of followers who are enjoying your poetry. It seems that for every Arabic verse or English verse, it has to be with an Arabic one as well, translated. Now, do you see yourself, you're compelled to actually do both? Like it has to be in English and Arabic, or do you sometimes write only English poetry and only Arabic poetry, or you do all the above?
I do all of it.
Okay, wow.
But if we're going to talk about writing,
yeah,
like writing, the process of
right.
weaving poetry, I would say that sometimes I would write them in English and then translate them, sometimes in Arabic. But posting, I do feel compelled to put them both in both languages because, you know, the Arabic language is an identity.
Right.
It's my identity in the end, above English. So although I'm good in English, although I'm better in English than in Arabic, I could, classically speaking, I could say that I feel like it's a necessity.
Right. Like you say, an identity, right? Your mother tongue and all of that. Wow, wow, there's a lot going on. And you used the word weave poetry.
Weave.
Oh, it's a very interesting word, a choice of word. I like to weave my poetry and put them together like a dream weaver.
Exactly.
Amazing, amazing. So what has been your favorite poetry so far that you've written? And you're like, okay, this is good. Do you have your own favorites, or they're all your babies?
Of course, they're all my babies, but you know, everybody has a favorite.
Right.
Just like food.
Yeah.
So like my favorite poem is Perhaps If I Were.
Okay.
So it brings in different dynamics, the symbolism behind this poem is very deep. It brings in different elements of nature and explains them from nature's perspective and connected them to my perspective as well.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on behind this poem. It's 100 lines long.
Wow, you took your time with this one.
It's my longest poem.
How long it took you?
It took me a month.
Wow, okay, that's not that long, I guess, right?
No, but that happens when you see poetry as something you're fated with.
Oh, you're fated with.
Or something that's, you know, intrinsically part of your journey, we could say.
Amazing, amazing. So what is poetry to you, if you're going to sum it up in just a few words?
In a few words, I would say it's a fate.
It's a fate.
A journey. I mean, it's above all else. If you're asking me what do you do every day, what do you read about every day, what dominates your life, I would say poetry.
Okay. As you weave them every day.
Weave them every day.
Beautiful. Now, with all that talk about poetry, I just got, you know, pretty much curious and would like to ask you, can you read some of your poetry right now?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
So these are a few lines of Perhaps If I Were.
If I Were. Oh, great, great pick. Okay, your favorite. Let's go.
My favorites. So this poem goes, it starts with, perhaps if I was a flower, I would be on the roadside you pass each day, blooming and making you smile. Perhaps if I were a bird, I would sit on a branch next to your window and sing until I scare away the sadness that haunted you for a while. Perhaps if I was the moon, I would sacrifice my light for your nights to shine.
Wow.
These are 3 lines.
Wow.
I mean, I consider every 2 lines as one, because perhaps if I were, it's just...
So you pretty much went into a lot of shoes here.
Yeah.
Being a bird, a flower, and the moon. So I'm just assuming that pretty much up to the 100th line,
everything.
You went through a lot of, I would say, perspectives of what it would be if you were something.
Of course, yeah.
Wow,
exactly.
Man. Wow. Well, I mean, I never had the poetic attitude or pretty much the mindset for it, but I do appreciate poetry and I appreciate your words. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, anything you would like to pretty much express to your audience and viewers when it comes to you being a poet? Oh.
something like an advice.
Advice, if you want to, yeah.
Of course. Well, when I started writing poetry, it was kind of really hard, actually. Many people doubted it, said it wouldn't bring anything. So what I would say is, if you're going to ask me to give an advice, for
Right.
example, a concrete advice, I would say that do it confidently and take your time with it. Even if there are mistakes, every poet makes mistakes,
Right.
even if they're experts.
Okay.
So that's what I would say. So I would say just find meaning in things. Just find meaning in things. That's my only advice. That's how I began, and I think that's how life is.
That is beautiful. Find meaning in things, take your time, and it's a journey. Well,
Exactly.
Hashim, thank you so much for joining us right here on Bahrain Now. This has been a poetic talk, that's for sure. And I can't wait just to pretty much see what's happening on your Instagram account and just follow your poetic journey.
Thank you very much.
It's
Thank
been
you.
a great pleasure, definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there was it with Hashim, talking about his beautiful poetic journey, all that took place right here on Bahrain Now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a good one. I think we can all agree that the current situation has emphasized the importance of keeping fit and keeping healthy. So let's get active. Joining us in the studio today is Sean Gillespie, the personal trainer and CEO of 3D Evo Fitness. Sean, how are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to come and spread the word on how to keep healthy to everybody.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I mean, you go a long way, pretty much from fight nights and pretty much be involved in the industry here when it comes to fitness. But a little bit about yourself to the viewers, if you don't mind.
So I started my fitness journey in 2012 when I decided to take it to the next level and actually become a qualified professional coach in England. So I studied in England. And my first job as a personal trainer was on cruise ships, where I met an amazing variety of clients.
Okay.
And seeing what was needed and seeing the different personalities and abilities of people really pushed me to progress my training. So that sparked a love of gaining certifications and always wanting to know more and more about how fitness works, how the human body works, and how to help people is in particularly quite important to me.
Amazing, amazing. Oh, wow, that's a beautiful way to start a life, you know, cruise ship and all of that, and see personalities.
It was. I got a great suntan. I really did.
So what brought you to Bahrain?
So I decided to move here 5 years ago now. It's been 5 years.
Amazing.
And I wanted to basically expand my fitness career, and what better place to do it than the sunny, beautiful island of Bahrain.
Oh man, Bahrain really loves you for that.
Well, it's true about the sun. I got my suntan stayed.
It shows. It shows pretty much. Your next step is the nationality. And that's
I will get there.
There you
I'm
go.
sure I can get there. That's not a problem.
A few words here and there and a little bit more Karak in your system and you'll be fine.
I love Karak so much.
So now you've been here for 5 years. What can you tell us about the fitness industry here in Bahrain?
It is absolutely exploding. Fitness is becoming a huge market, and it's actually really good to see. So not only during COVID did the government actually say, hey, everyone, by the way, so there may be a pandemic, but the best way to fight that pandemic is actually to stay fit and healthy.
Right.
And so for a lot of coaches, that was kind of like the green light. That was like, you know, we would love to help everyone beat this. And so let's beat it together. And so we should all work together and just try and stay healthy. And that's why I really appreciate the opportunity to come on the TV show and help everyone realize that keeping fit is just part of life. I mean, my company motto is it's not just fitness, it's a lifestyle. And I really emphasize that with my clients. So.
Amazing, amazing. Now, thing is, pretty much as we're fighting the pandemic and pretty much doing a great job here, but in the first 2 years of the pandemic, the last 2 years, I'm sure it was very challenging, pretty much being the fitness industry. So how did you cope with that? How did you manage to get through those 2 years?
So very slowly, very methodically.
Right.
Just keeping my head down, you know, being safe at all times.
Right.
The mandatory stuff, like, you know, being really careful about social distancing, washing your hands, wearing masks. In my case, there was an extra level of protection, so we wore gloves a lot, you know, just to help out with the containing the virus and spread.
Right.
So it was tough for everyone, I think. And like most people, you know, I think I just about scraped through.
Okay.
I think we made it.
Amazing.
I'm not going to say it was easy. I think it was
Yeah.
tough on a lot of people.
Okay.
And for those people who it's still tough on, you know, I hope everything works out for them. But I managed to get through it just about. And now it's kind of back on the rise. We're coming out the other end of COVID, although we have new variants and things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
New
We have-
names.
Yeah, we have new variants, but you know, I think the global attitude is one of safety and precaution.
Okay.
But also everyone is in the region of we have to keep doing what we're doing.
Right.
So you see people in the gym. So I'm a member of my local gym, and seeing people in the gym, I'm still seeing people.
Amazing.
I'm still there with them. I train myself every day, and it's good to see the attitude of fitness is still prevailing,
Amazing.
despite what we're all going through.
Well, speaking of that, tell us about your gym, man.
So I actually do. I offer home training.
Okay.
So I offer a home training platform
All right.
where I, as the coach, would come to you. So you save membership fees, you save travel time, you save pretty much on a lot of different fronts. No equipment required.
Okay.
And I am kickboxing qualified, boxing qualified. Obviously, I'm a level 3 personal trainer. I need that certificate to operate as a personal trainer.
Right. Right.
And I am doing more and more certifications as we speak. I've recently become sports massage certified. And I am helping to develop a pre and postnatal yoga program right now as well.
Yoga program.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you getting into it all. A level 3. So there are levels to that, being a personal trainer?
Yes, there are levels to being a personal trainer. So you have a level 2 gym coach, which is basically someone that's allowed to help you with machines, and they can do classes in the gym.
Okay.
Then you have a level 3 coach, which allows us to do exactly that, plus one-on-one training.
Right.
And then you have you have a specialist level 4 coach.
Okay.
They will do things like diabetes and obesity for special
Okay.
populations.
Okay.
So that's something that's on the horizon, but right
Right.
now I'm just focusing on getting other certifications to help the clients that I keep encountering. 'Cause every time I see a client I can't help, I get a certification to help them.
Oh, hey, look at you. That's amazing. Bless you for that.
Yeah.
Well, what is your favorite? I mean, which genre of the fitness pretty much you see yourself into? Kickboxing, boxing, general fitness, PE?
I think in my older age, I think the harder styles, things like impact sports, boxing,
Okay.
kickboxing as an example, don't suit my body as I'm getting older. And I'm in my late 30s now. And I think
You and me, buddy. You and me. We're still young. We're still young. Yeah.
we are.
Ish.
Thank you. Yes, until I go, ooh, and then it hurts. But I think I'm steering away from that, and I'm going more towards the holistic side of things. So yoga, which doesn't necessarily mean you're not strong. So
Okay.
yoga is effectively flexible calisthenics, if you like.
Yes. Oh, I love
So-
that. It's flexible calisthenics.
It is
yes.
flexible calisthenics. That's what it is.
Yes.
So I would actually steer more towards yoga and massage. So I find massage absolutely fascinating.
Interesting.
Absolutely fascinating, because just because you have an issue in your right upper back,
Okay.
that doesn't mean that's where the issue is. The issue could be as low down as your hips.
Wow.
And it's absolutely fascinating to know that's how the human body works.
Amazing. Would that take you to physiotherapy by any chance?
It could. That is a different avenue of expertise.
Right.
So physiotherapy is manualing. I call it manualing. It's referred to as manualing.
Okay.
But physiotherapy delves more, like even deeper into what sports massage is.
Amazing.
Sports massage, if you like, is the surface. You're scratching the surface, and you learn how muscles work and how the body is
Right.
aligned. And physios do certain tests to figure out body misalignment and imbalances, and then they
Okay.
will advise you on how to fix those.
Amazing, amazing.
really
So
interesting.
how has the reception been with your clients with your way of giving training, pretty much going to their place or meeting them somewhere? How has the reception been?
So people actually really, really like it.
Yeah.
So it takes out the guesswork of sitting in traffic. It takes out busy gyms. It takes out everything from what does that piece of equipment do again and how do I use it? And it just negates so many variables. And then obviously I would come in and my job is quite literally to sit down with you.
Right.
I touch a little on psychology.
Interesting.
And I am also doing an eating psychology diploma at the moment as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's figuring out why you eat, what you do, what your goals are, figuring out what motivates you,
Right.
what can happen to you if you're having a bad day. And I will sit and I will literally program all of this with you in a consultation. And then I turn up and I'm like, okay, so here's your goal. And we're going to do this exercise. Here's why. And just to remind you that, you know, this is what you're aiming for. Here's your goal.
Right.
And I'm just kind of there to like support and guide everyone. I mean, that's the whole idea of it. And most apartments, most places have their own gyms.
Right.
So I still work in a gym.
Right. Right.
Just not my own.
I think that's an experience me and a lot of people would love to go through and have. I mean, I want this now. I need this. You're free the next few days?
I'm sure I could squeeze you in. I'm sure I could squeeze
you are
anything
on
for you.
TV.
Anything for you.
Appreciate
yes, I'm
you.
free. Yeah.
Appreciate you. So, you know, although we can talk forever about this, but any last words to your viewers right now? An advice, a word to your viewers?
To the viewers, I would say, don't try and do too much. If you want to start a fitness journey, start small and
Right.
grow. So to win the war, you have to win the little battles.
Right.
Okay, so every journey starts with the first step. And it's that basis that actually builds momentum. Now, in my current diploma of psychology, there is actually a test, and the test does actually say, if you start implementing small changes, then those small changes will turn into big changes. And those big changes will turn into lifestyle changes and habits that can improve you. A really good example is if you're drinking 4 cups of coffee a day, do you think you can drink 3?
3. Oh, okay.
And of course the answer is probably going to be sure. Like,
Right.
why not? It's 3 cups of coffee. I'm not asking you to go cold turkey. And then after you've done that, you get flooded with these endorphins and your body's like, come on, you just did 3 cups of coffee and you're fine?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah,
I'm good.
I can do this.
Yeah, I'm settled. Yeah.
And that
still
would be
sane.
my advice to people watching this program, is if you have any interest in getting healthier, getting fitter, learning more about how to achieve your goals,
Right.
one step at a time. And of course, to contact me, and I can help.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sean, this has been a great pleasure. And I'm sure we're going to see you again here on TV.
It would be fantastic to be back. Thank you so much again for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's been a great pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Bahrain Now. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard yourself from the master himself. Take small steps. And hey, for the next level, just give Sean a talk. All that took place right here with an interview with Sean here on Bahrain Now. Well, everyone, I hope you all enjoyed that episode as much as I did. Don't forget to reach out to us on our social media accounts shown below. And all that, very much stay tuned for more coming up on Bahrain Now. I'm Bara Abdulla. Till next time, Bahrain, goodbye and God bless.